shaping up to be a duel all the way to the finish, with Bob Morris coming back to put a lot of pressure on John French. John French was driving the Dick Johnson car and may have driven it all the way through to the finish of the race. There was about 38-second gap. Let's perhaps call up shortly the IBM computer printout of the top 10 positions as they were on that lap. And we'll take a look down how the cars were placed. We're still up on top of the mountain, taking a look at the car. That's the Gemini Isuzu, number 57. That's already been brought down on the back of one of those quick lift cars. Okay, the completed number of laps of 121 was to see the Dick Johnson and John French combination in the Falcon number 17 in first place. The Channel 7 Falcon of Bob Morris and John Fitzpatrick in second. The amazing Mazda peripheral ported RX-7 number 43 of Alan Moffat and Derek Bell in third. The number 11 Commodore in fourth place, Gary Rogers and Clive Benson Brown. In fifth place, the Alan Brown, Tony Edmondson Commodore. In sixth place, the Moore Gibson entry that, of course, you've seen involved in that accident. In seventh place, the John Player BMW, Alan Grice and David Hobbs. In eighth place, the Capri, number 32 of Colin Bond and Don Smith. In ninth place, the Privateer Falcon of Gary Wilmington and Mike Griffin. In 10th place, the Falcon of English and Donnelly. And Peter Williamson up in 11th place overall in the Toyota Celica number 77. Well, that's the scene on top of the mountain as we flick through for you the placings back to 12. Williamson and Smith in 11th, and the Capri, Masterton and Stewart in 12th place. In 13th, the Camaro of Kevin Bartlett, involved in that accident on top of the mountain, and Bob Forbes. In 14th place, car number 29, Speedway driver Brian Callaghan and Peter McKay. 15th is the Falcon of veteran Victorian driver Murray Carter and New Zealand driver Graham Lawrence. In 16th, the Commodore number 26, the Taylor Kennedy Commodore. In 17th place, the Ford Capri number 39 of Nelson and Jones. In 18th, the Capri number 46, the Gates Craft car. 19th place, number 21, the Dixon Stevens Camaro. And in 20th place, the Alfetta number 50, the Leggett and McDonald entry. Well, probably a disappointing finish to the race under these circumstances, as any motor racing enthusiast would say. People feel a little flat that they would like to see it go all the way through to the finish. Track completely blocked on top of the mountain. It would be really impractical to be able to restart the event because of the time factor. It's going to take an amount of time not only to remove the cars off the circuit, but also then to clean up the circuit, because we have metal, we have broken wheels, glass, we have just about everything on top of the mountain. And in fact, the people won't be able to use the roadway up there for, I would think, an hour or so, or maybe even 2 hours, for the spectators to even get off the top of the mountain and back onto the exit roads out of the course. IBM printout following through all the positions as of that lap, so we can bring you a complete update of that. Well, it's been a day of tremendous action here in the James Hardy 1000. We've never had a finish to the race like this. Some of the great races around the world, the Indianapolis 500, have had similar finishes under spectacular circumstances. But we saw this morning, of course, Kevin Bartlett sit on pole position, and after the completion of 121 laps, I think it was, Bartlett was to be involved in that accident on top of the mountain. The printout continues of all of the vehicles as they finish. Many had their race done early in the day. Of course, Alan Jones and Warren Cullen, who teamed in the Advanced Australia Commodore, were up as high as 6th place. Alan Jones took over the car, had problems starting it and getting it out of the pits, but then only completed 1 lap. So Alan Jones will certainly remember the James Hardy 1000 for 1981. It was an early withdrawal after looking a chance in the event for perhaps not outright, but certainly for a finish in the top 10. Okay, we are now going down to Gary Wilkinson, who is in our pit studio, and hopefully he will have Alan Moffat there with him. Take it away, Gary.
Thank you very much, Mike. Alan, undoubtedly one of the most safety-conscious drivers in the business. Were you surprised, though, that they didn't decide to continue with the race and endeavour to get the track cleared?
Well, that's the Clerk of Course's decision, Gary, and the organisers at their discretion. We did pass the mandatory 2/3 distance, so it's disappointing, naturally. I guess it had to happen here at some stage or another, but just where we were at the time, well, it's not the time we wanted it to happen.
I was going to say, in the confusion, I don't think I'm really aware. Second or third, you were on the track at the time.
We would have had to have passed Bob to get second, so as it happened, we're third. I don't think you pick up places on the replay, so to speak.
You're surprised that an accident of this dimensions has occurred on this circuit?
Not really. It's a pretty hairy place. It's no chicken run. The demands on the driver mentally, as you get a little bit fatigued, the heat gets in the car. We're very conscious of the ventilation for the drivers. Sometimes fumes can be coming in, subtle monoxide fumes or just petrol fumes can just take the edge off the driver, and he sort of thinks he's going all right, but he really isn't. Everybody who's been a sportsman knows what that feeling's like. And I think there's always the potential for it. A lot of times the car is in a four-wheel drift. I mean, a couple of times there I felt like hanging onto the steering wheel with my teeth. I thought I was going out the door with the centrifugal forces. And a lot of things mechanically and mentally and just every other way happening. The crowd are waving at you, distractions. It's not surprising to me that something like this has happened.
A couple of drivers commented in interviews and through our camera cars about the lack of courtesy of some of the once-a-year drivers.
That's true. Quite honestly, I don't like to knock the slow car drivers. Everybody's got to start somewhere, but I don't think Bathurst is the place. And I think it would really behoove the organisers to start thinking about a shut-off time and, let the entry, get 100 cars up here on Tuesday or Wednesday, but sort the ones that are goers out from the ones that are just drifting around. And there were 3 of them out there today that, quite honestly, had no business being here whatsoever.
Well, the race is finished. Alan Moffat is officially third on the results list, and you'll be back.
Well, let's see, third this year, second the year after. And
they're the words of Alan Moffat. The race is over, but the action continues here at Mount Panorama. We'll be returning to it after this break.
Welcome back to Mount Panorama at Bathurst. As you can see, the crowd's already assembling for a presentation of the trophy to the winner of the 1981 accident-shortened James Hardy 1000 Classic. We'll hopefully be bringing you some highlights of the race today, some of the drama that unfolded early in the morning, some of that fantastic racing that we saw in the opening laps of the event that saw Kevin Bartlett, of course, and Bob Morris, Dick Johnson, who put on such a tremendous scrap for the opening 2 hours of the race.